never ever accept a counteroffer. There are loads of statistics out there. Essentially, the core facts are that 80% of people that go into a meeting with their boss, they get handed a counteroffer. 80% will be gone within 6 months, and the remainder has gone within 18 months. So, the reason you took the call about the opportunity, the reason why you went for the interviews, the reason you went through that entire process is never going to go away. So that's the first lesson. Well done, first of all, for getting yourself a job offer from another company. And well done for actually not just handing in your notice and, not even discussing it. The point here is, though, that even if you have handed in your notice and you've been called into a meeting to discuss with your boss, why you're leaving, which is the exit interview, they might be interested in that. If they turn to you and they try and persuade you to stay, you really shouldn't. And here are the reasons why. Number one, the reason why you took that call and you went to interviews and you did all that process, that recruitment process with another firm, this isn't easy work. This is actually hard work. This puts you out of your comfort zone. No, most people aren't used to doing it. You did that. That's a big change, and you did that. And you got the job. Again, well done. The reason you did that is because you weren't happy in the position that you're in. Something was niggling away at you. Maybe lots of things. Maybe a lack of promotion. Maybe it wasn't, the pay wasn't right. Maybe the team wasn't right. Maybe the boss wasn't a good boss. Whatever it is, it could be a myriad of things, or just one. You weren't happy. Now, it won't matter what your boss or the management say to you. That's not going to change, because inherently that is why you made all that effort to begin with, to get out there. And if it was going to change, and if you were that valuable employee that they were so caring about, why did it take them for you to essentially quit your job for them to listen? And this is a really good question you should ask them. You should say, okay, thanks for giving me a promotion. You're giving me a pay rise. Why now? Why didn't you do it last week? Maybe there are instances where you've seen other people being promoted around you. This is evidence that they want you in that position. They don't want you in any other position. So at that point, you've got to ask yourself, how true is this going to be? And I can tell you from experience that I've never known anyone that has accepted a counteroffer where the new job that's been proposed has actually materialized, because they don't want you doing that job. They want you doing the job you're doing. The second thing to understand is the minute you go in and you tell them you've been offered another job, what happens inside their mind is that this person is no longer loyal. You've shown disloyalty by going outside. Now, you probably didn't mean to do that because you're looking after yourself, and actually you're in that position largely because they put you in that position, because they weren't offering whatever it was that it would keep you happy. So you've gone out, but they'll see that as a lack of loyalty. So what this means is that regardless of what happens, you accept the counteroffer or you don't, the same thing will happen. They will advertise your position. They will look around the organisation for a backfill because they are mitigating risk. And you've shown them that you are with one leg out the door. So that would be the obvious and most sensible thing to do. And as someone that's been working in this field for an awful long time, it's something that I would advise my clients to do, is to advertise that position. Have a plan, a succession plan for people that could leave and leave you in the lurch. So you may well see your job advertised. Now that's not going to make you feel any better, regardless of what they've told you, or regardless of how much they're paying you, how much extra they're paying you. Because the penny will drop, that you are quite disposable. They'll be able to do that. And they'll use ways in which, again, I would advise people, companies to do this, that they will get someone else in to train from you. They might call them something else, give them another job title, but what they're doing is they're mitigating the risk that you have brought to them today by telling them that you're thinking of leaving. So Be prepared for that discussion, because if it does happen, you need to know how to manage it. So that's the third thing, is how do you manage this? How do you actually go in there, tell them you've been offered another job, and navigate the persuasive tactics that they will try and have over you? And I say that because the reason they're proposing that to you is because they think you're a soft touch. And they think you're a soft touch because they've treated you like a soft touch for a long time. And the final insult is that they've got you in to offer you more money and a greater thing at the time where you have quit. So it's really quite insulting, this process. And you have to be firm. You have to have made up your mind before you hand your notice in that you are accepting this new job. If you're not going to, and it's not enough, then keep looking. But the worst thing you can possibly do is to go into that meeting and to be won over in a disingenuous offer, with a disingenuous offer, in order for them to mitigate the risk of you leaving by having you hang around long enough for them to find a replacement, only to possibly and probably make you redundant anyway. So just think about it. It's quite hard to see these things when you're really right in the music. But from an outside point of view, it's quite obvious what you would do, what anyone would do, if someone comes along like that. And that happens in your own personal relationships as well. You know, if someone starts to sort of look like they've got one foot out the door, we generally we pull back a bit. That's what they're doing. So manage this carefully. Be professional about it. Be firm. Tell them, I've enjoyed working here. This has been a great experience. I'm sure we'll cross paths again. I'd like to leave on a good note and I wish you the best. Along those lines, obviously, clearly use your own language, but that's the type of thing. You never know who you're going to see again. You never know. I've been in situations where someone's left their boss. They got on quite well with the boss, but they didn't get along with, the upper management, and they've left the organisation. They've gone somewhere else, and they've ended up working with that ex-boss because they've hired them into their own company. So that moves into networking, which I'll cover in another video, and how important it is to never burn any bridges and to move on graciously and professionally. So this is the core thing. Don't accept a counteroffer because it's disingenuous. It doesn't mean anything. It's just solving their problem momentarily. Be firm and good luck with your new role.